Hello, I'm Barbara Ann Rosenberg, your roving reporter. And we're roving tonight into the kitchen of two of Philadelphia's most beautiful hotels, the Rittenhouse and the Four Seasons. It used to be that people thought going to the dining room of a fancy hotel, or even their own dining rooms, was the most sophisticated and wonderful thing to do because the kitchen somehow seemed to say franks and beans and maybe a beer. But no more. You can eat as magnificent meals in the kitchen of one of these hotels. And with us are going to be Sissy and Eugene Block, who are coming with us to dinner into the kitchen at the Rittenhouse. And then later, you'll meet John and Deary and his staff. He's the general manager of the Four Seasons. Oh, by the way, at the Rittenhouse, you're going to meet Executive Chef Jim Coleman and his staff. Then you'll meet Jean-Marie Lacroix and his whole crew at the Four Seasons. I'm sure you're looking forward to this. I am, and boy, was it good. We're in the dining room, that is the Treetops dining room of the Rittenhouse Hotel. Snowing like mad outside. Nice and cozy in here, quite a number of people. But do you think we're going to get a chance to eat in this lovely dining room? No, the chef has said otherwise. This is Chef Jim Coleman.
How you doing?
Executive chef of the Rittenhouse Hotel. Now, what have you got in plan?
Well, we're not going to stay out here. We're going to go back into the kitchen. So why don't we go on back?
Go on back to the kitchen, and that's going to be the theme of this piece. Well, I guess we're on our way back to the kitchen with some other people, too. They're lucky enough to join us. And when you see this kitchen, it's not like normal kitchen dining. Let's go. See what's set up just for us here, this cozy little corner of the kitchen, but we're going to watch the chefs make all the food we're going to be eating, both for this restaurant, for the Treetops restaurant, and for 210.
All right, you want to explain what it is?
This is called chiffonata basil. It's fresh basil, and I'm adding it in actually to your second course, which is going to be a ratatouille that has, it's topped with a steamed scallop.
Can you tell me what these are that you're preparing now?
Garlic pistachio, mozzarella, and plum tomatoes.
Now, this is the kitchen to Restaurant 210, the Rittenhouse. And the gentleman with a hat, of course, is Executive Chef Jim Coleman. And the person he's talking to is Tom Harkin, who's the chef de cuisine for Restaurant 210. We're busy right now preparing things for people who are in the dining room.
Red foie gras, served with a pork glace and a pumpkin seed and truffle mashed potato. So it's got a lot of nutty flavors, going to go real well. So usually when I eat a dish, I guess I'll take the pork, glace, and the foie gras, everything together and just get the whole.
This is the way we eat in the kitchen at home all the time. Isn't it? You guys all the time.
Listen, bon appetit.
Back to the kitchen.
Okay, this is a jumbo sea scallop that's steamed in a bamboo steamer with daikon juice and ginger juice. We extracted the juice with a juicer, so we use that as a steaming liquid. And then it's a red pepper ratatouille and a chipotle reduction. And a chipotle is a roasted pepper, a smoked, almost like a smoked jalapeno pepper. But it's very mild, there are no seeds in it or anything. Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Chipotle?
You're talking in mine.
Okay, well, we're from Texas. I had a hard time even finding them up here, so.
Oh, I have them.
Oh.
So here we have a saffron capellini. It's homemade. And what we do is we toss it, we serve it on a bed of vanilla sauce. The sauce is made with a light reduction of white wine, a bunch of cream, and then we drizzle with a reduction of balsamic vinegar and a touch of butter, the whole sauce is served with avocado, scallion, and composite of tomatoes. Okay, bon appetit. Here we're grilling your fish.
Fish.
We marinated we marinated with sake, mirin, and rice vinegar, all oriental spices. They're all good for the body. Just gonna make it rare. This fish just arrived. A little sake, little rice vinegar, the old angostura. Just that's very oriental, although it has a little Italian influence. I marinated for a couple of hours, dry bass, mirin, sake, soy, sesame oil, and rice vinegar. And then I top it with a dill gremolata after being cooked. It's dill, orange, lemon, lime zest, sun-dried tomatoes, and Parmesan cheese. Very, very, very small amounts of each one. And we serve with fresh chanterelle mushrooms, which are sauteed in olive oil, and then finish with a sake and chicken stock.
Wonderful. What a combination of ingredients.
It is. It's an Oriental, Italo-Oriental.
Italian, French, and Oriental. Well,
But the gremolata is very, very delicate, even if it's a lot of dill. Taste.
remoulade with dill. That's unusual.
Made with dill, a little sun-dried tomatoes, and a touch of Parmesan.
What I have here is a accented grilled piece of sirloin. It's accented with rosemary. It's served with bones, sirloin, and chanterelle mushrooms. And what we have here is oven roasted vegetables. I had it in the oven for 2 hours, real slow. Morels, turned carrots, turned potatoes, beans, leaves, and sirloin and something else. And I made a little bit of a basket with just 2 really thin sliced potatoes, very thin, and I just rolled them together and just
See this? We have a soccer player.
Okay, you guys all get together here.
Okay, you want to explain?
things here, next plate. Here, a little sauce here, a little garnish, next plate. The guy's awesome. I'll tell you, one of the
And when you
best.
do 250 like that?
That's it.
We have a good team. We have everybody together. We have 7
I mean, we have a philosophy that
everything is set up all yourselves.
I'd love for people to say you can't do that for banquets because I believe there's nothing you can't do for banquets. I mean, if I can do it for one, I can do it for 250. I mean, it may take a lot of time and it's going to cost a lot of money because you have to a lot of people, obviously, you have to meet it. But don't ever say that there's nothing that you can do for one that you can't do for 200. We can. So.
Good for you.
The farandole of desserts. It means a grand round of desserts. Every single one is different. Somebody said this was a Passover. Well, there's no clothespin there. Exquisite. Did everybody put one on?
This is what we have in 210. This is what we do for banquets once in a while. We'll give them a little sampler. We do it in the restaurants periodically for different parties and for special occasions. The designs are always different on every plate. Every plate has 7 different designs.
Look at that. That is
And this is like a standard dessert we would do for a luxury banquet or anything like that.
absolutely. Well, we'll manage somehow.
Somehow,
Doesn't everyone have beautiful flowers like this in his or her kitchen? No, I don't. Do you? No. No, but this is in the entryway of the Fountain Restaurant at the Four Seasons Hotel in Philadelphia. And we're going into the kitchen to see what the preparation looks like, all the activity that prepares the wonderful food that's served in the restaurant. Come along. In this organized chaos, they're preparing for, the chefs around you are preparing for dinner in the Fountain Restaurant of the Four Seasons Hotel. This is an ordinary Friday in the kitchen. Some Fridays, the hotel invites guests to watch this organized chaos. And somehow all these wonderful meals are turned out as a result of it. These few guests are here. I'll get Ruth Hershey, who's the Director of Public Relations for the hotel, to tell you all about how people get invited to come here for this wonderful event. But in the meantime, just enjoy watching the folks having a little bit of wine, and pretty soon we'll start on the food. Ruth Hershey, Director of Public Relations for the Four Seasons Hotel, is greeting people, asking them to sign in. You see the perfectly beautiful table arrangement that they have here in the kitchen, nicer than what I have in mind. But let's talk to Ruth a minute.
Hi.
Tell us about how one gets invited to see this marvelous extravaganza.
It's friends of the restaurant, friends of the hotel, people we'd like to be friends. It's all by personal invitation. And once you've been in the kitchen, you never feel the same way about sitting out in the restaurant.
You mean you want to come back to the kitchen?
You want to come, you want to come back to the kitchen, but this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. But when you're out there, then you know who's making your food, what it looks like, who the people are, and you have a personal relationship with it.
That's great. I was going to say, otherwise I just come and eat dinner here every Friday night. See? Chef Jean-Marie Lacroix is greeting some of his guests. He's going to come over and talk to us in a minute, give us a little bit of his philosophy about what he does with his kitchen. I'll tell you, the beginning is tipped off in a sign that he has outside of his office that says no sniveling.
Certainly not.
Certainly not. Now, for a French guy, how did you get this no sniveling sign?
But my wife is English, so she translates for me.
Jean-Marie is one of only, how many maîtres cuisiniers are there in the world?
In France, is less. In the world, it's about no more than 500. I'm not sure exactly, but in the state, I think it's about 90, not even 90.
90 people.
Not even that. Yeah.
Not even that, I don't think.
I'm not so sure. I don't want to say anything, but it's
He
pretty
was,
low.
he was recently inducted in a perfectly beautiful ceremony, and congratulations, Chef Lacroix. Tell us a little bit about this Friday in the kitchen. How do you put together the menu for this?
Well, the menu is to reflect the specialty, the special we do every day. You know, that's the idea, and to share it with the customer. The idea of the Friday in the kitchen is to have the customer come into the kitchen and meet us. So we meet the customer, they know us. Otherwise we never see them.
That's right. It's only the wait staff that sees the customer, and they never really see you. Don't you ever go out and circulate?
But it's always difficult because if you're busy, if you're you're not your best behavior, or I'm not behavior, but looking. So you go out, you're all sweaty, and it's not good.
Do you ever get those whites dirty? You ever put your hands really in the pots?
Sometimes.
In any event, otherwise your job is to come up with these wonderful menus, right?
And the team too.
And the team put together the
Yep.
That's great. Thank you for sharing
Thank you.
with us. This is perfectly beautiful. You want to tell us a little bit about what we're having tonight?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll talk about what we're having.
I need to grab some wine.
Okay, get a
Excuse
glass
me.
of wine. We're having clam and foie gras casino with a truffle nage, meaning a truffle sauce, sautéed red snapper with lobster, ginger, and cardamom sauce. And just so that we won't be hungry, we'll have quail stuffed with little teeny fingerling potatoes with wild mushroom and mesclun salad. Then we'll have veal ossobuco with root vegetables and fiends herbe. Now understand, these are just tastes. We're not going to sit down and have dinner, but while we're tasting, we'll have a number of kinds of wines. And for dessert, we'll have, it says, the surprises of the chef, les surprises du chef. And Martin Hamann is the chef of the restaurant, and Edward Stein is the maître d'hôtel. While people are waiting for their tastes of things, although some of them are eating their clams casino with foie gras now, they're drinking some Cordonier Napa Valley, a champagne that's being made now, a Spanish wine that's being made in California, Stag's Leap Wine Cellar, Chardonnay, a Bon de Domaine, a French one, and a Kenwood Cabernet Sauvignon. Going to go see what the manager of the hotel has to say about all of these. John, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking some of the Kenwood, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. Better than what we were passing.
Oh my word! Well, that's being passed now.
No, this is
You're
wonderful.
a special person. John has gotten the Hotelier of the Year award for I don't know how many years.
Oh, well, just last year. Last year was very nice.
But according to Ruth Hershey, his public relations person, she says he's the Hotelier of the Year every year.
Well, that's how Ruth keeps her job.
Lovely to be here.
Thank
John.
you for being here. Hoping you're enjoying this. This is a wonderful thing.
Marvelous experience, just wonderful.
Chef, Jean-Marie.
Hello, Antoine.
How are you?
Antoine Clark. His name is Anthony Clark. It says here.
He likes to be called Antoine. He's from South Jersey.
Only when I go to France, I like to be called Antoine.
He's from South Jersey, and he wants to bring out the best.
Now you get the feeling of what this team is like in the kitchen here at the Four Seasons. Nobody's stiff, nobody's difficult. They all get along, and as the chef says,
Back at about 6:30.
okay, we'll be here. See you later. Beautiful quail being served with a mesclun tiny baby vegetable lettuce salad. And what's that herb on top?
Thyme.
Is it thyme? It's the thickest, heaviest, most beautiful thyme I ever saw. We have a good time here at the Four Seasons, right? And over there, this gentleman is carving those little baby quails because he's serving them with salad to each of the people here in the room. There's the executive chef over there passing through his troops, and here are the people who have been trained by him and are doing what he's told him to do. Here comes Jean-Marie to check it out. Let's not get between him and that knife. That's a serious knife that you're using. Smoked salmon. Is that going to be for the tasting tonight, or is that for the dining room?
That's for the dining room.
We don't get any of that tonight. I didn't think I saw it on the menu.
Isn't that beautiful?
Let's take a picture of this gorgeous salmon with
Red snapper.
red snapper. Oh my word! And
Cardamom lobster sauce. It's a sautéed red snapper with the ginger lobster cardamom sauce.
look at that! Is that gorgeous? When you have osso buco and you have somebody who really loves it, but he doesn't. I mean, if he were in the dining room, he'd probably have a marrow spoon. Now he's using the wrong end of a regular spoon, but nevertheless, you see, that's what the difference is here in the kitchen. That's right. Wonderful.
I'm at home now. This is acceptable.
These gentlemen are opening up a leaf of, I guess, romaine lettuce, putting a piece of fish on it, cutting the spine out of the lettuce so that it isn't difficult to handle, then wrapping the fish in the lettuce very meticulously, with herbs, and pretty soon it's going to be poached and served in the dining room as a very spectacular dish. But look at, they handle it like, you know, anything, matter of fact.
Tart charmant and a raspberry creme brulee over here on the left. Raspberry creme brulee and a chocolate tart charmant.
What does that mean?
It's a chocolate tart. It's named after a restaurant in France, Charmant. Chef's proud of it. It's just outstanding. Wait till you taste it.
Ask him the questions that you had, you know, really been concerned about this lovely dish.
The question that I had was what type of lettuce he was using.
Romaine is the lettuce that we're using.
And then how he was going to prepare the dish.
That'll be braised with chicken stock, horseradish, and caviars to finish. Sevruga caviar.
How do you do that? How do you do that? You know, braise it.
How long do you braise it?
Generally just under 4 minutes. It's a small piece of fish, so it doesn't take that long. And then what we do is put it in with chicken stock, shallots, and garlic, braise it until we're finished, and then finish it with olive oil and butter. And then caviar.
Doesn't sound too shabby.
Have you had this?
Not yet.
Now this you want the recipe for.
Okay. We'll see you later, folks, after dessert. Here is a lovely young man breaking eggs. You notice we talk about large, extra large, super large, jumbo. How about small, extra small, spotted eggs? These are quail eggs. I don't know what he's going to use them for, but let's go find out. What are these being used for?
These are going to go into our consomme for our, today's menu.
One at a time or the whole bunch?
Oh, about 3 at a time. About 3 at a time. On the menu, it's clear consomme with poached quail eggs and scallions.
And you break them all together and then?
Yeah, I'll break them all together, and then when I put them into the water, they'll separate and form individual eggs.
Thank you, sir. Now we have some tips, some cooking tips from what?
My name is Brian.
Well, now we're back home after having had some sumptuous dinners in various kitchens, meaning the Four Seasons and the Rittenhouse Hotel, with Chefs Jean-Marie Lacroix at the Four Seasons and Chef Jim Coleman at the Rittenhouse and his dining room chefs as well. We were accompanied on our first visit by Cecily and Eugene Block, and they enjoyed the dinner at the Rittenhouse enormously, and a group of people who were invited to dinner at the Four Seasons. I must say, eating dinner in those kitchens was very different from eating it in my mother's kitchen, and I bet it was very different from eating in your mother's kitchen. The only change that's taken place, as far as I know, is that John Indiri, that hotelier of the year and hotelier of every year, according to Ruth Hershey, is no longer with the Four Seasons. He departed for California shortly after our dinner, and he's now replaced by another equally competent and I'm sure very handsome man. We are going to get to meet him very soon, very one of these days, and believe me, I'll share with you when I do. I look forward to seeing you again. I've been roving, this time through the kitchens of Philadelphia, your roving reporter, Barbara Ann Rosenberg, and I'll be ranging further afield, farther afield, whatever the correct syntax is there, and I'll be seeing you soon, next month, with a whole brand new show. Look forward to it. Bye.